Next heading, relationship between Kc, Qc and Gibbs. Relationship between Kc, Qc and Gibson, delta G. Relationship between Kc, Qc and delta G. We know that when delta G is negative, we know that when delta G is negative, reaction is spontaneous. When delta G is positive, reaction is non-spontaneous. When delta G is equal to 0, reaction is in equilibrium. Reaction is in equilibrium. Now, the relation between Kc, Qc and delta G is generally delta G is equal to delta G standard plus RT ln Kc. RT ln Kc. ln you can convert into logarithm to the base. So I'll write delta G is equal to delta G standard plus 2.303 RT ln Kc. At RT ln Qc at any time. Qc at any time. Generally at any time. At time t. You can say at time t. Now at equilibrium, this delta G is equal to 0. So 0 is equal to delta G standard plus 2.303. Not only 0, Qc will become Kc. So 2.303 RT log Kc. Qc becomes equal to Kc. 2.303 we have included. So you can write log, logarithm to the base 10. Now from this you can find out Kc. That is 2.303 RT log Kc. 2.303 RT log Kc is equal to minus delta G standard. So what is log Kc? Log Kc is equal to minus delta G standard divided by 2.303 RT. What is Kc? Antilog of this. Kc is antilog of this. Kc is equal to antilog of this minus delta G standard upon 2.303 RT. Write one question. Hydrolysis of sucrose gives that is sucrose plus H2O. Hydrolysis of sucrose gives glucose and fructose. Fruit sugar. Kc is given. Kc is equal to Kc is equal to 2 into 10 to the power 13 at 300 Kelvin. At 300 Kelvin. Calculate delta G standard at 300 Kelvin. You have to calculate delta G standard. You have to calculate delta G standard. Standard gives free energy. Delta G standard is equal to minus RT ln Kc. Minus RT ln Kc, that is minus RT 2.303 log Kc. So R, you know, this is energy. Energy, if it is energy calculations, in energy consideration, R is equal to 8.314 joules per Kelvin per mole. So which is equal to minus 8.314 joules per Kelvin per mole. Temperature that is 300 Kelvin into 2.303 into log, what is Kc? Kc is given, that is 2 into 10 to the power minus 3. 2 into 10 to the power 13. 2 into 10 to the power 13. Log 2, here this is the thing, and here log 2 plus 13 log 10. 13 log 10 means log 10 is 1, so that is 30. So here log 2 is 0.3010. So this is 0.3010 plus 13. That means here 13.3010. 13.3010. Rest everything you have to multiply, that is 2.303, then 300, then 8.314. This is minus. This is minus. This much. On calculation, you will get a minus value only. That is minus 7.6 into 10 to the power 4 joules per mole. Joules per mole. Next, factors affecting equilibrium. Factors affecting equilibrium. What all things are affecting our equilibrium? Factors affecting equilibrium, that is pressure, temperature, and concentration. Pressure, temperature, and concentration. Pressure, temperature, and concentration. Here we have to learn Le Chatelier's principle. Le Chatelier's principle. What is Le Chatelier's principle? If we change pressure, temperature, or concentration of a reaction at equilibrium, then the system will change itself to nullify the effect of change. If you increase the pressure, the system will decrease the pressure. If you increase the temperature, the system will absorb that temperature to show that no change has been taken place. That if you increase the temperature, the system will absorb the temperature. Or if you increase the concentration, the system will either move to forward direction or to backward direction to nullify the effect of change. So Le Chatelier's principle states that if we change pressure, temperature, or concentration of a system in equilibrium, the system will adjust itself to nullify the effect of change. Write down, if we change pressure, temperature, it states that, it states that, it states that if we change, pressure, temperature and concentration, okay, or concentration of a system in equilibrium, of a system in equilibrium, the system will adjust itself, the system will adjust itself to nullify. To nullify means to cancel, to nullify the effect of change. The effect of change. You have to by heart this. If we change temperature, pressure, or concentration of a system in equilibrium, the system will adjust itself to nullify the effect of change, to undo, or to annul or cancel, or cancel the effect of change. If you increase the pressure, the system will decrease the pressure. You know that decreasing the pressure, number of moles decrease karna. As the number of mole increases, pressure increases. As the number of particles decreases, the pressure decreases. So system will either move to the forward direction where the number of moles are less. If the number of moles are less on the product side, then the system will move to that side. If the number of moles are on the moles are less on the left hand side, the system will move to left hand side. So if you increase the pressure, by somehow system will decrease the pressure. If you increase the temperature, the system will decrease the temperature by absorbing that temperature as if nothing had happened. So to decrease the temperature also, if you increase the temperature, the system will decrease the temperature either by moving towards the forward direction or to the backward direction. If you increase the concentration, of reactants, the system will move to the product side. So the concentration of reactants got decreased. If you increase the concentration of products, the system will move in the backward direction. That is so Le-Chatelier's principle states that if you change the pressure, temperature, or concentration of a system in equilibrium, the system will adjust itself to nullify the effect of change. Let's see different examples. This pressure, temperature, concentration on one reaction. First one is pressure. We are going to, for example, increase the pressure of a system in equilibrium. For example, N2 plus 3H2 in equilibrium with 2NH3. N2 plus 3H2 gives 2NH3. Some heat energy is also, some energy is liberated in this. It is an exothermic reaction. 92 kilojoules of energy is liberated. 92 kilojoules of energy. That is a product. I am showing the product, so I am showing at the product side. Otherwise, we will say we will say delta H is equal to minus 92. Separately, if you are writing, it is minus because this much heat energy is liberated, 92 kilojoules. Since it is a product, I am writing on the product side, that's all. Now, if you increase the pressure, the system will decrease the pressure. How? By decreasing the number of moles. Here you see 1 mole of nitrogen and 4 moles of hydrogen. Total number of moles on the reactant side is 4 moles. 1 mole of nitrogen, 1 plus 3. 1 plus 3. There, the number of moles of product, that is 2. 2. 2 moles. So if you increase the pressure, the system will decrease the pressure by decreasing the number of moles. In which direction it should move to decrease the number of moles? See, 4 to 2. 4 to 2. That is, system will be moving to the forward direction. That means we will be getting more and more ammonia, more and more product. We are doing a reaction to get more and more product. We are always eyeing for getting more and more products. So, when you increase the pressure, the system will decrease the pressure by decreasing the number of moles. So, decreasing number of moles, you can see that in the forward direction. System will be moving to the forward direction. If I take another example, that is 2SO2 plus O2 gives 2SO3. 2SO3. See, 2 plus 1, 3. There are only 2. If you increase the pressure, system will move to the forward direction. Forward direction. You will be getting more and more products. Suppose here this number and this number are equal, then even if you increase the pressure, nothing is going to happen for the reaction. For example, N2 plus O2 gives 2NO. This is 1 mole, 1 mole, 2 moles. Here 1 plus 1, 2. Here 2, there 2. Even if you increase any amount of pressure, nothing is going to happen. Because reactants 2, products also 2. Next, we are moving to temperature. If you increase the temperature, system will absorb that temperature either by moving to the forward direction or by moving to the backward direction. So here, N2 plus 3H2 temperature. N2 plus 3H2 gives 2NH3 plus 92 kilojoules per mole. Look at this reaction. This plus this plus this gives this plus this. Or this plus this gives this plus this. What are happening? Here, absorption of temperature. Absorption of temperature. Where it is absorption of temperature? See, ammonia takes that 92 and comes back to form reactants. That is the process what is happening. So, when you increase the temperature, the system will absorb the heat. Means what will absorb the heat? Ammonia will absorb that heat. When you increase, only ammonia can absorb the heat. According to this equation, only ammonia can absorb the heat. So what will happen? If you give this heat, ammonia will absorb the heat. If ammonia absorbs heat, what will happen? The reaction proceeds in the backward direction. You are heating, ammonia is absorbing that heat. Ammonia ka kaam hai. Ammonia will be absorbing that heat. When ammonia absorbs heat, it will move in the backward direction. So it is not to give very high temperature to this Reaction, of course, to start a reaction, you have to give some activation energy, then only the reaction will get started. But we should not give very high temperature to this reaction. What will happen? You will be getting only reactants. Products formed will also be changing into reactants. So it is not advisable to heat an exothermic reaction. But if it is an endothermic reaction, you can heat. For example, N2 plus O2, N2 gas plus O2 gas plus 180.7 kilojoules per mole. Kilojoules per mole, that is 2NO gas. 2NO gas. Now you see, reactants are absorbing this heat. Reactants are absorbing this heat. If you give heat, reactants will absorb that heat and will form what? Products. So in the case of endothermic reactions, it is advisable to give the heat. In the case of exothermic reactions, it is not advisable to heat the reactions. Now next is effect of concentration. Effect of concentration. If you increase the concentration of the reactants, more and more reactant molecules collide each other, then more and more products will be formed. If you increase the concentration of reactants, more and more products will be obtained. In the equilibrium, if you add some products, then what will happen? Reactants, these products will be moving towards the reactants. So why? Because Kc for a reaction A plus AA plus BB gives CC plus DD. What is Kc? Kc is equal to C to the power C into D to the power D upon A to the power A to the power A and B to the power B. Right? Now you see, anytime you can say QC. What is QC? QC is in the same format only. QC is equal to, again, C to the power C and D to the power D upon A to the power A and B to the power B. QC, if QC value is less, means this amount is less. QC will always try to reach Kc. So if you add more product, more reactants, what will happen? If you add more reactants, this value means A and B you are adding. So this is increased. This is increased means QC is less. QC will always try to reach Kc. So reaction will proceed in the forward direction. If you increase the concentration of the reactants, see, this is QC. In this, you are adding A and B. So this amount is bigger. So QC value, see, denominator bigger means denominator has got a larger value means QC is less. Then QC will always try to reach Kc. The reaction will be moving towards the forward direction. If you add some amount of C and D, that means this is again QC at any time. So this is more, that means QC value is more. QC will try to reach Kc. QC value more means C and D more. So it will try to reach Kc means reaction will move in the backward direction. One example is there. Fe3 plus aqueous plus SCN minus aqueous is in equilibrium with, that is FeSCl 2 plus. SCN minus, so 3 plus and 1 minus, that is 2 plus. This FeCl3 or Fe2 plus, pale yellow color, light yellow. Light yellow. If it is more diluted, you will see somewhat colorless. SCN, this is colorless. Colorless. This is blood red color. Blood red color. When you add two colorless compounds, liquids, you are getting blood red color. If you add more and more, intensity of blood red coloration will increase. Or if you add something which is capable of giving this ion, potassium ferrosulfocyanide, if you add, then you are adding this ions, then the intensity of red coloration will decrease. So if you add more amount of reactants, product will be obtained. If you add the product to this equilibrium mixture, then reactants, it will be moving towards the backward direction. You look at another example, that is calcium carbonate on heating. Calcium carbonate solid on heating, that is calcium oxide solid and carbon dioxide. Carbon dioxide. So to get more and more amount of calcium oxide, you make this carbon dioxide escape. So the system will moving to make more and more carbon dioxide. You let that carbon dioxide escape, then reaction will be proceeding towards the forward direction. You will be getting more and more calcium oxide. This is calcium carbonate shells. On heating, you will be getting calcium oxide, quicklime. This is limestone. This is limestone. This is quicklime. Quicklime. Why do we need this quicklime? You buy this quicklime, mix it with water to make it into a paste, that is slaked lime. Adding water and stirring it, that is slaked lime, CaOH twice. The slaked lime is used for whitewashing. Slaked lime, calcium hydroxide. CaO plus H2O gives CaOH twice. This is slaked lime. Slaked lime. So here we have many uses. For whitewashing, we use this slaked lime. So to get slaked lime, to make slaked lime, we need quicklime. For that calcium carbonate limestone. From nature, what we get is limestone. This limestone is heated to get that white powdery thing. This is, you can say, shell. They collect seashells for getting this calcium carbonate. They collect seashells, and these seashells are heated at high temperature to get quicklime. Thank you.